You bought it, you paid for it, it is sitting in your house. So why can the company that sold it to you still turn part of it off? Because more and more, buying a product does not mean controlling it. It means getting permission to use it under rules the seller still controls. That sounds dramatic until a printer does it to you. HP's Instant Ink service sends cartridges as part of a subscription. Cancel, and HP says they stop working at the end of the billing cycle, even if ink remains. The printer is fine. To print again, you must replace the subscription cartridge with an ordinary one. Nothing ran out except permission, and the same deal is moving into software, cars, fitness trackers, movies, and games. The word buy is still on the screen. What comes after it is changing. To see why, start with the problem a company has after a normal sale. You stop paying it. Suppose a company sells you software for $500. It gets paid once, and you might keep that version for 6 years. To earn from you again, it has to build something better and convince you to upgrade. Turn that same software into $20 a month, and the price feels smaller. The company's revenue becomes predictable, and after 3 years, you have paid $720 with the meter still running. An owner is someone who has finished paying. A subscriber never is. For a business, that difference is enormous. Adobe reported almost $23 billion in subscription revenue in fiscal 2025. Each month begins with millions of customers already scheduled to pay. This does not make every subscription a scam. New content, cloud storage, live servers, and support have ongoing costs. Monthly payments can also make expensive tools easier to access. But the relationship changes. The company no longer wins only when you join. It wins every month you do not leave. That is why $19.99 a month is rarely introduced as $240 a year. $240 sounds like a decision. $19.99 sounds like a small problem for future you. And future you keeps getting volunteered. Music, storage, editing software, fitness, a free trial for one show. No single charge feels serious enough to stop and review your life. By the time they pile up, you do not have one subscription. You have built a quiet second utility bill. Deloitte's 2026 survey found that American households with paid streaming averaged 4 services and $69 a month. 41% of consumers had canceled at least one in the previous 6 months, often returning for something they wanted. Companies call customers leaving churn. You call it trying to remember which app has the one show you want. The cleanest way to stop churn is to make a service worth keeping. But the business model also rewards something else, making keep paying the easiest option. That is why a free trial asks for your card before you know whether you like the product. When the trial ends, the company does not need another yes. Doing nothing becomes yes. The official term is a negative option. Your silence is treated as permission to charge you again. Signing up usually takes a button, an email, and a card. Canceling can begin a guided tour through Pause Instead, a cheaper offer, a survey, and several versions of Are You Sure? In 2025, the Federal Trade Commission received more than 90 complaints per day about negative option and recurring payment practices. In a case involving Uber One, the FTC alleged that some customers had to move through as many as 23 screens and take up to 32 actions to cancel. 32 actions is not a cancel button. It is an escape room with your card on the other side. Every extra screen is a bet that you will decide tomorrow. The subscription does not need to trap you forever. It only needs tomorrow to arrive after the next billing date. So far, you could argue that this is simply how services work. Stop paying for streaming and the stream stops. Fair enough. Then the same logic moved inside objects you can hold. The company Oura sells a physical health tracking ring. Without an active membership, the ring still shows 3 daily scores, but most of its detailed insights and features stay locked. Mercedes offers digital extras for eligible cars, including an acceleration increase that improves 0 to 60 performance. And HP Instant Ink cartridges can stop working after cancellation, even if ink remains. These are not identical deals. Cloud analysis, software development, and automatic ink delivery have ongoing costs. Sometimes a subscription is reasonable, but software gives the seller a power that ordinary products never had. Something can be physically present and commercially unavailable at the same time. The ring is on your finger. The hardware is inside the car. The ink is inside the printer. Yet, part of the product remains behind a decision made somewhere else. Imagine your dashboard saying, "Your free trial of faster acceleration has ended. Please renew your horsepower." That sounds like a meme because our idea of ownership has not caught up with what software allows sellers to do. A physical product used to have one price. Now it can have a second, what it costs to keep every feature awake. And if that feels strange for a product in your house, digital purchases go further. Sometimes the thing you bought can disappear completely. Steam's subscriber agreement says its games and other digital content are licensed, not sold. You can pay once, click buy, and keep a game in your library for years. But the agreement says you received access under a license, not ownership of the content itself. That sounds like legal trivia until the account, platform, or server disappears. A paperback does not call the bookstore every morning to ask whether it is still allowed to open. You can lend it, resell it, write in it, or forget it in a drawer. If the bookstore closes, the book does not close with it. A digital game can depend on your account, its launcher, and company servers. You may keep the receipt while losing the product that receipt was supposed to prove you bought. The word buy became confusing enough that California passed a law requiring digital stores to disclose when a transaction is only a license, and access may be revoked. It does not guarantee permanent ownership. It makes the temporary part harder to hide. Gamers saw why that matters when Ubisoft shut down the servers for The Crew, leaving the online-only game unplayable. The backlash helped create a European citizens' initiative called Stop Destroying Video Games, which gathered more than 1.29 million verified statements of support. Those people were not demanding that every company run every server forever. They were asking for an exit plan. When support ends, should a paid game become useless, or should players receive a way to keep it alive? That is the question behind this entire shift. Not, are subscriptions evil? After you pay, who keeps control? Real ownership gives you options after the seller leaves the room. You can keep the old version, use it offline, lend it, resell it, repair it, or transfer it. You can leave it on a shelf until everyone forgets why you bought a bread maker. Access can be useful, cheaper, and more convenient, but it remains conditional. Stop paying and a feature closes. Lose the account and a library may vanish. Leaving an ecosystem can feel more expensive than staying. So before pressing buy, ask 3 questions. If I stop paying, what still works? If the company disappears, what can I keep? And can I leave as easily as I entered? Ongoing services need ongoing money, but the answers should be clear before the payment, not discovered when the product refuses to work. That brings us back to the printer. The machine was fine. The cartridge was not necessarily empty. The contract ended, and the printer obeyed the contract instead of the person standing in front of it. That is what modern ownership is becoming: a product in your hands, a company still in the loop, and permission sitting between the two. So the next time a button says buy, ask the rude little question hiding behind it. Buy what exactly?